Welcome to the Heal Yourself podcast, where we dive deep into all things healing. I'm Denise, a speech language pathologist and a self-love coach for adults and teens.
And I'm Kira, a traditional naturopath and functional nutritionist, and we are here to guide you through the transformative process of healing your body, mind, and soul.
From the latest in functional medicine to nurturing your relationship with yourself, healing trauma, and even transforming your money story, we're here to empower you with the knowledge and tools to create lasting change.
So whether you're looking to heal physically, emotionally, or spiritually, join us as we explore the many paths to wholeness and wellness. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Heal Yourself podcast. And today, Denise and I are talking about the Telepathy Tapes.
Ooh. Well, before we talk about it, you got to tell us what it is.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. We debated talking about this, but I think it's valid. Like, I really think it is relevant to everyone's healing journey. So if you haven't listened, go listen. But it's a podcast. Mm-hmm. And it's done by a documentary filmmaker who is interviewing parents, experts, different, various scientists about kiddos on the spectrum. So verbal, nonverbal, but those that are verbal are usually unreliable speakers, which is actually like my son, who have telepathy. And I know for some, they're like, no way. It's all made up. Give it a listen. It spoke to Denise and I, like when I messaged her, when I got to episode 9, I had to pull over to the side of the highway. I was crying so much. Like, aww. It was so powerful for me. And there were so many lessons, not just about my son, but it was like, yes, I know this. Like, I feel it with all my being. And I just thought it was so powerful. We need to chat about it.
No, I completely agree. And I remember when you sent it to me and I didn't listen right away. I'm listening to so many podcasts, reading so many books. So I just didn't. And I was visiting a cousin of mine. She was actually doing charcuterie board for me. And she was like, have you listened to the Telepathy Tapes? I'm like, oh my goodness. Because, you and I believe that there are no coincidences. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, so Kira told me about it and my cousin is telling me about it. So it's time to give it a listen, especially if it is about kiddos that are nonverbal and it's kiddos that I've worked with, right? Yeah. So I started listening and I could not stop. It was kind of like the book that you cannot put down. And I do know what you're talking about. Episode 9, I cried as well, especially, not.
Don't say it. Don't give it away.
I'm not. I'm saying like and someone may not cry. Like not everybody is mm-hmm. going to, it depends. We're all different. But to me, Kira, too, it was, it was about the nonverbal kiddos and me being a speech therapist. I always tell parents, every single child, whether verbal, nonverbal, mild disability, severe disability, every single child, every single person has something to offer, right? We have our own, we're all intelligent, we're all smart in our own ways. And I've even said that to children, because sometimes I've had kiddos who struggle in school and they say, I'm not smart in math, like he's smarter than me or she's smarter than me or whatever. And I always remind them that your strength may not be in math, but you have other strengths. And some of them, for example, they draw better than, you and me, for example, right? Or someone who does math. So it spoke to me a lot about some of the things that you and I, listen to about spirituality. So that's where we kind of like also need to dive into, like, it made a lot of sense of some of the things we're like, how can we make sense of that?
And that's the thing. I was just talking to my cousin about this. We can't sometimes make sense. So like, if we look at the mind, I'm not talking about the brain. I'm talking about the mind. We don't even know where the hell it's stored. Okay. How can we talk about that from a science perspective if we know that it's not just in the body? Like they don't know where the mind is. So I don't know if you guys have considered that, but they don't think it's in the body, right? The mind isn't the brain. It's entirely different. We can't explain it. And just like energy and frequency, right? How are you and I talking right now on a computer when we're in different states, right? It's frequency, it's energy. And that's the thing. That's what was so powerful is like, We are. And these kids come in, every kid, right? Not just those on the spectrum. Every kid comes in perfect, you know?
Yes.
They're
Well, I mean,
not,
we are perfect.
wait, but you know what I mean? Like they've not been tarnished by other people's beliefs. They've
No, no,
not,
I mean every single person, like you and I, when
yes.
we were born perfect.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, yes. I
Yeah,
thought you were
yeah,
saying
yeah,
now. I was
yeah.
like, hell no.
No. I mean, you know what I mean. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
every single person, yeah,
yes.
yeah, you're right. Every single person who's born is born completely perfect.
Mhm.
It's just that, yes,
And the
life
high
and
frequency. And that's the
Mhm.
thing. I think when you're at that high of a frequency and vibration, you have gifts. But then life takes a hit, right? You adopt what your parents are telling you, what
Correct.
society is telling you, what you see on TV. And it's like, well, no, those aren't my gifts, you know, and that stuff falls away. And I feel like, especially, and I'm biased here, but especially the kids with challenges, especially the kids with autism who struggle to communicate, they're at a different frequency because they can't verbalize what they need. So they have to communicate in another way.
Right. And their intuition, and I've seen it many times with my students, with my friends' kiddos as well. Their intuition is really, I don't know if I want to use the word high, but it's more, they're more
Yeah.
aware of their intuition than you and I because they have way less beliefs that they have understood,
Mhm.
accepted type of thing, right? I know that a friend of mine, she always tells me like her daughter, like she's always, reaching for the healthy food or whatever, or like she's always like, if she's around some people, like she may not really relate to somebody and the mom knows that's her intuition, right? If I am not being able to say this person is kind of giving me the ickiness or something, but but my intuition is, so that's why a lot of these kiddos, their intuition is so
Powerful.
more elevated and
Uh-huh.
powerful because also they don't have that ego mind piece as well, right? So like for example, you look at Tav, he is in what, third or fourth.
He's second grade. He's 9.
Second grade, second
Mm-hmm.
grade. So he's in second grade, right? And he is just so um, not entangled in whatever the other kiddos are doing in
Mm-hmm.
society. He doesn't have that ego where I gotta win this and beat you at this and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, have you noticed like his ego mind is different than
It's
other?
very different from
Yeah.
ours and very different from other kids. He's not like, yes, he could be internalizing some of the stuff that he sees, but you can just tell the gentle, sweet nature. Like there's something different.
Yes. And that's where, and I really love how some people right now in this field in our society, they're using for kiddos with ADHD. And because kiddos with ADHD are another story. I mean, they're
Mm-hmm.
highly, highly intelligent and creative, and they are completely all the time put down. And kiddos with ADHD and autism, they have so much to offer.
Yeah.
And yeah, I forgot where I was going with this, but it's not scripted. So we're just, going along. But yeah,
Well, and let's tie this back to everyone else because we don't, obviously, we're not just here to talk about autism, right? This is the Heal Yourself
correct.
podcast. So we want you guys to have tools, but like, let's talk about takeaways. Like, how was this relevant to you? Like, what did it give you an aha moment around or whatever?
The aha moment is there's more to life than that 3D
Mm,
world that I see. You know what I mean? Like, hearing them and then just kind of like, talking about the other realm. And it made a lot of sense because after I read Dying to Be Me, and I was really honest with you, like I was struggling with the fact that I understand that time is created by humans. I understand that days of the week are created by us. So I know we're timeless, limitless, etc., but it was really difficult for me to understand it. I kind of had a glimpse of it at the hotel room, you and I in Arizona, and I kind of
mm,
talked about it. But I was just like, how the heck can you be parallel? Like, how can we all living like this all of the life? Like, I don't get it. But just listening to the telepathy tapes, listening to the kiddos, listening to their parents, it was just like there's more to it than what we can see. And then it reminds me how much that, like, look at the dogs, right? They can hear frequencies that there's no way we can hear.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing. Like when we are blind with the ego mind, we're not seeing what they're seeing. So that's it was becoming clear that if there's a situation or a problem, instead of like dwelling and going over and hating on it, just kind of like accepting it that it's part of that wholeness
Mm-hmm.
versus kind of like there's more to life.
Judgy. Yeah.
Literally, like that's all I can say. There's more to life than the bills. There's more to paying the bills. Not
I
the
thought you were talking about
football.
the football team.
Oh, no, I know. I saw your face and I was like, okay, because they were playing yesterday.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, paying bills. There's more to life than, going to dance competitions. There's more to life than even recording the podcast. There's more to
Mm-hmm.
life than just arguing with people and judging and taking stuff personally and not having fun and taking yourself seriously. So that was the biggest takeaway from me is just there's more, and we are so limited with our conditioning.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
about you?
It's funny because I asked you the question and then I was like, shit, how am I going to respond
Whatever.
to this? Because there were so many moments where I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Oh, wow, yeah. For me, I think it's just kind of like you said, there is more, but it's realizing like we're here for a reason. Okay. I
Absolutely.
don't think that we were just born to survive and go through these day-to-day motions and then expect to feel amazing. Like we're just borrowing this physical body. Yeah, we want to feel good in it, right? I don't want to have physical symptoms every day and deal with ongoing fatigue and, brain fog or whatever else someone might be dealing with. But it's borrowed and it's such a small thing in the scheme of life. You know what I mean? Like it feels weird to say that, but it's like the physical body is nothing. We're a
Absolutely.
soul. What are
Oh,
you here?
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's
Absolutely.
what I want people to,
1,000, 1,000. Like
yeah.
like you just nailed it. We can just stop the episode right now.
That's
You
it.
are a soul. Like you are a soul, that physical body, that because a lot of, because we know, someone may be listening right now, they look at their body and they may not like it.
Yeah,
But
we've been
that's
there.
just but that's again, that's a vehicle also to look
Mhm.
within the soul. And I know that sometimes Kira and I are a broken record. We always say, look within, look within. But legit, it is look within. Like
Yeah.
you are it.
Yeah.
No one is coming, like the prayers that you are praying, they're just not gonna come down from the sky, and they're not just gonna fall, and there's it's you, it's within you. And how do you get that? I wrote it down right now as you were talking. It's the stillness and the silence and
Mhm.
just being okay with being, because remember, we're human beings, but we have become human doings, and constantly we're doing everything's there's no time to actually connect with that soul that we are. It's constantly we're connecting with the body
Yep. And
versus connecting with the soul.
And that's the thing for me, like my takeaway for people is just start to reflect, just start to listen. Like we've gotten so far away, again, because we become that ego person, right? As we get older, all of these stories and programming and everything becomes embedded in us. But how often are you going through your day and pausing and reflecting of, gosh, what does my soul need right now? What does my body need right now? What would make me feel good? What would light me up? Gosh, how can I serve the world today? What can I do to make this a better place? How can I show up as a better wife, mother, friend? All of those things that we should be reflecting on and going throughout our day. That's healing. That's what brings the
Absolutely.
physical healing too.
And I also want to add, and Kira, of course, correct me if I'm wrong, and the ego is there for a reason. It's here
Yeah, it
protecting
protects
us. I
us.
get it,
Hmm.
it's the fight or flight, whatever. However, a lot of the times there isn't a physical line right there, and we need to turn the ego mind all the way up and then run for our lives. So that's where also the reflecting and going in and being compassionate with yourself. And you know where I'm
Mhm.
getting this from, because
Yes.
on Friday I was at a conference with Dr. Gabor, and it was all about compassion and just being compassionate with yourself, with that inner child. Like, seriously, I always give that example because I grew up where grades and testing and overachieving was really, 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 it was necessary. Okay. So if I didn't get A's and B's, not even B's, it had to be A's or A pluses, right? And it was really difficult for me. I was always so nervous. I was always having anxiety. And so it's usually on Mondays, because on Sunday there's always, tests or whatever. But right now I'm working so hard. I'm 45 years old, Kira, and I still get that feeling. I'm a business owner. I've
Mhm.
been a speech therapist for 20 years. I help kids and their families, but I still get that feeling as if I am 7 or 8 or 10 or a teenager. So what I've been doing really is, the minute I get that, I just immediately go to my inner self and tell her, like, hey, you're not a kid anymore. You're not a baby. I've got you. So this is where the when we say look
Mhm.
within, and what Kira gave examples of, what does my soul need, etc. You're also talking with your baby, with your inner child that you are reparenting. So the inner work is essential. So if you're listening right now and you're like, Denise and Kira, you keep saying that. It's
Yes, we do.
essential. It's essential, dude. If you want to heal, you gotta take that moment. And if you're saying you're busy, then you are choosing
Mhm.
not to. No one's gonna come by the hand and save you. Please get that idea out of your head. I mean, you are there for you.
Yeah. And this is one thing I tell my clients. Yeah, I'm a practitioner. Am a nutritionist and I've studied functional medicine, but I don't heal you. That comes from you. No practitioner will heal you. So if you're listening right now and you're like, but I'm dealing with all these physical symptoms, that's fine. We can guide you. We can walk beside you. We can hold space for you. We can offer guidance. But ultimately, it's an inside job. And that's it.
I mean, I have to go back and refer to the Bible, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even Jesus, when it was all of the miracles, he never said, "I healed you." He would
Hmm.
always say, "Your faith has healed you."
Yeah.
Right? So you are it. You are it. And I know I talked to my daughter, because she was going into dance competition this weekend. And I bought her the I Am book by Dr. Wayne Dyer. It's for
Mhm.
little children. I know she's a teenager, but I wanted it to make sense to her. And it was really reflecting, like, you are it. The divine is in you. The prayers that you are praying, the answer is not coming from above. The answer is coming within you. It's just you're not listening right now. Why? Because the noise is louder than your soul's noise, your higher self's noise, your divine's noise.
Mhm.
So that's why it is crucial for healing anything,
Yeah.
emotions, physical stuff, anything.
Because
It
that's what
is
it is,
so,
noise. You just said it. It's
yeah.
noise that we have to learn to tune out. And a lot of it goes back to programming, right? The noise that I hear from a lot of women, well, I can't do that because I have kids, or I can't do that because my husband works and I stay at home. I can't do that because I don't have the money. I can't do that because this. Stop.
Yeah. I mean, literally, you nailed it, Kiara. You can't, what else are you gonna say other than please
Hmm.
stop? Please stop, because what you're doing is, and because you know why we're also saying this, because you and I have been there, done that.
Yeah, this
We've
isn't our
been on
first
the
rodeo.
hamster wheel. It is not. It is not. And we still, to this day, I mean, I saw Dr. Gabor. I mean, he's written so many books. He is 81 years old. He celebrated 81 years old. And he was giving examples of struggles that he had when he was 74.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
that's
and
one thing I want to say. We're not perfect, guys. We're not
no
expecting you to
one
be perfect.
is.
We are human. We're here living a human experience. But that's the thing. It is an experience. And as Denise and I always say, it's a journey. If you are not on this journey, if you're not here for the long haul, then don't expect to see any results.
And then life comes in phases and seasons, just like the
Hmm.
seasons that we see. There's winter, there's after winter comes spring, and after spring there's summer, and then autumn. Same with our lives.
Hmm.
So like right now, any phase, and I know I learned that from Dr. Wayne Dyer, that it's a phase and it's gonna go away. So even that happiness phase, but or whatever you're going through, like, oh, let's say your business is doing great, blah blah blah, that's the seasons of it. enjoy that. And then there's going to probably be another phase. Also enjoy that. This too shall pass. Something else is coming, right? Like the phases and the seasons and all that are not going to last
Hmm.
forever, right? So that's why it's also important to just, be.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked about the present moment in previous episodes, so make sure that you tune into that. But yeah.
That and gratitude, that's part of being is you don't have tomorrow. And that's another thing that whole telepathy tapes brought to me is like I already know this, right, guys? But again, it drove it home. Nothing's guaranteed. I don't know if I have tomorrow. So I'm not going to be focusing on what happened 20 years ago. I'm not going to be focused on what might happen, 5 years from now. It's what can I do today to make this the best day?
Yeah. And I know that someone listening right now might think, well, some things like, there's just too much. But the
Hmm.
thing is, I understand like not every problem has a solution. I get it. But then if it's something that does not have a solution, there are two things. We either come to terms and accept it and move on and let go. If you can't do anything about it, right? If I
Hmm.
can do something about it, I'm going to do something about it. But if I can't do something about it, it's out of my hands, and there's no use in dwelling and focusing and analyzing. You have choices. At the end of the day, it's choices.
Yeah.
So if I'm choosing to dwell on something that happened 20 years ago, that's my choice. And if I am choosing to be like, you know what, I know it sucks and I hate it and there's no solution to that one and it's out of my hand, I'm just going to accept it and move on.
Yeah, because we
But
can't
don't
we can't
allow it to
change those.
continue. Yes,
Yeah,
to continue to activate and because you already came to terms that you cannot change it. It
yeah.
cannot be changed. You tried.
And
You tried.
yeah. Well, and then again, bringing it back to telepathy tapes and these kids in particular, I can tell you that my son doesn't sit and ponder what happened last week and did he say this and did it irritate this person? No, they're at that different frequency again. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's what we need to be striving for. There was I'm going to butcher the story, but I remember hearing it a while back of like, um, somebody throws out bread to a duck, which don't do that, guys. It's terrible for them. But somebody throws out bread to some ducks. One duck comes in and steals it from the other duck who was going to give it to his baby. What does the other duck do? The one that got the stolen bread, like now he can't feed his baby. What does he do?
Go take the
Nothing.
bread. Oh,
They just
nothing.
nothing because he already forgot that the damn thing
That's
happened.
right. That's right. They forgot. They
But
forgot. Yeah, yeah,
here's the
yeah.
thing, we don't do that. We drag that shit on
Oh
for
no, we
years, for
direct. She took my
decades.
bread. She took my bread
Yes.
20 years ago, and I'm gonna hold the grudge for 20 years.
And that's what I'm saying. We be more like these kids, right?
Yes,
Work
yes.
on that energy of like just letting it go.
Letting it go. Yeah. And when we say letting it go, that doesn't mean that we're asking you to be passive and be a
No.
doormat. No, 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 no. Both Kira and I have boundaries and like literally, I mean, my boundaries.
Yes, I know.
So what I was saying, you know, like accept anything and everything that someone gives you, but
But you
is
can't
it
change the past. That's it.
right, but is it worth also like if someone continues like you tried with that person, let's say a friend, right? We're just gonna give a friend, not spouse or partner or whatever, right? It's a friend, and that friend constantly, every time you're in their presence, you feel icky, you feel negative, right? Let's say that and you've tried to either talk to them or something, and this is just them, you know what I mean? And you're like, so you can choose to stay with them and continue with that cycle. You can be like, you know what? I'm going to limit my interaction with you. I love you and everything, but I'm going to accept that I can't change you because you can't.
Yep.
So let's, and yeah.
Yeah. Acknowledge the thing in the moment, say what you need to say, do what you need to do, and then when it's gone, it's past and you can't change it, let it be.
The kids that were on the telepathy tapes, it not reminds me, like it kind of like the picture of them. It's their soul is so pure
Hmm.
and flying that they're literally just, and some of them did say that they're using this body just as a vehicle, and this body happened to be,
Yep.
it cannot talk and it has this ability. Because not, I think some of them, I didn't watch the videos, but some of them like also had probably cerebral palsy too, because they couldn't really
Yeah.
use their hands. right? A lot. Like they had to use they had to be guided.
Hmm.
So it's I like I see them as just like pure souls, like we're just they have not lost touch of their true identity, like their truism. Is that
Yeah.
a word?
Yeah. I'll go with it.
Yeah, because we have lost touch and now we're kind of like, so it's really important
Yeah.
to,
Well, I'm gonna say, guys, go listen to it. Go listen to it because I think no matter what you believe, you can relate this back to your own healing journey. I think there are some powerful pearls and takeaways in there.
yes, and have an open mind. If something not, because
Yes.
not everything I heard I agree with, especially from a professional point of view, because I am a speech language pathologist and I have worked with kiddos. So it's not everything you're gonna maybe, but just have an open mind and
Yeah.
continue listening. And yeah, like all I can say is really have an open mind and not dismiss things that you're like, oh, I don't believe that. Because even if you don't believe that thing, the next thing you may like, ooh, I'm glad I continued listening.
Yeah.
I mean, just like with
100%.
anything, with healing in general, it's important to have an open mind and being flexible.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thanks for
Well,
tuning in.
thank you for tuning in. I know that was like such a like kind of really not scripted this one.
Yeah. Sometimes we just go off the cuff, guys, but that's what
We
we feel
do.
inspired to do.
I know. And I'm loving the feedback. You posted the feedback the
Yeah.
other day. I was like, oh, thank you so much for listening. We love feedback. So if you have feedback for us, just keep them the
She said keep
positive
them coming.
ones post, okay? Not the negative. Well, just send us a private message. Anywho, no, 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 no. Write whatever you want. But we love feedback because, and then of course share it. Share the episode with one person that you know that might, benefit and
Hmm.
may see this helpful.
And then get on Apple and leave us a review, please. We want to grow this podcast. We want to help as many people as we can, and this is our way of doing it. So
Yes.
the reviews, the shares, all the things are super helpful.
And also let us know because this is for you, right? It is for us.
Hmm.
It's really healing for us, but it's for you. So if there are any topics or anything in particular that you want us to dive in or, talk about, please let us know because we're just coming up with topics based on what we see in the world and what we go through. But it will
Hmm.
be more beneficial if it's something that you want to talk about. We're here, we're open. We will talk about anything and every kind of ish related to healing, related to healing.
Yes. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next episode.